So when you come onto the home, which brings up the feed from everybody else's page, and this is what you're referring to, you've got this little sort button up here. So you can sort by the top stories, and what will happen, those pages you interact with most, Facebook will push their stories up to the top. And again, this is why it's really important to interact with the people who are following your page, because that means you're then getting your stories up the top if they're interacting with you. If you just set it up and sit there, your stories are getting pushed down to the bottom. So we can see we've got Dynamic Business Magazine and Golden Goose up the top. And if I click most recent, that then changes the order. So everybody that I'm following, unless I've hidden them out of my news feed, comes up in the order that it's posted. Now, for some reason, Facebook revert it back to top stories every single time you log out. So I like it chronologically listed, so I do that. But
how do you get it so you turn up your business page?
Well, again, you just have to be making yourself at a point where people want to connect and like your page. Once they've liked your page, that's when you start turning up. So if I like Interim Business Solutions here, I've liked their page as my business page. I haven't liked them as a personal profile. So their posts now show up on my business page as well. And the same would happen if they've liked my page as their business page, I'll show up on their feed. So you do have to get those likes coming through. And it's, like I said, it's a matter of just engaging.
But I thought it had changed, that unless you were interacting, you'd actually just sort of fall off.
Well, this is where the sort feed sort of comes through, because like I said, if it's just got top stories, if you're not having that level of engagement with those businesses, you will drop off. So that's where it's important to actually post on other people's pages for a start, so they then respond to you, because the more you engage, the higher up you're going to be on this page. But again, like I said, you can sort of circumvent that, or if they're like me and like to see the most recent stories, you will come up. But if you're keeping it on top stories and it's only pushing up the content that you engage with, then yeah, you won't be seen. So that's again where you really need to make sure that you're posting on other people's pages and that they're posting on yours, and having that whole interaction. If they're not finding your content relevant, they can hide you. If you're posting on their page, they then...
Just saying that you like their post.
Yeah. If you've liked them, their post will show up on your feed. If they haven't liked you, they won't see you. So they need to like your page in order for you to show up on their stream, unless you post directly onto their page, if they allow that. And then it's up to their discretion whether or not they keep it. Yeah, so when you go back to here, you could go to somebody's page and write a little comment in there.
Yeah, that's great.
That will show up on their page even though they don't like you at that stage. But it might be enough that they go, oh, here's this person, they'll come and check you out and they might like you back in return. But unless you've either gone onto their page and left a comment, or they have liked you.
So as long as you leave a comment, it'll go up there for a period of time.
Yeah, that's right, until it sort of filters down. So I don't think I've got any reason.
There's no way they can cut you out of there.
They can delete it.
But it's up there for a time. They can't prevent you.
Yeah, unless they, oh, here's one that I've had. So, I can come in here and choose to delete this post that this lady's left on my site. Or I can hide the post and not see her posts anymore. Or I can report it as abuse if somebody's been on there and they're trying to bag me, or, And dealing with negative comments, it is recommended that you don't just delete them out of hand, because people think, okay, you're just not going to deal with any negative criticism. To start off with, if you have something negative posted, like Tash was saying earlier, see if there's a valid point, see if there's any sort of valid points that can be taken from that, and respond to it and say, look, I appreciate that you've brought this to our attention, and we'll try and do something to resolve it. If you've just got somebody who is just out to be a nuisance, you can actually, like I said, report it as abuse to Facebook, and they can actually close them down as well. But you can sort of then choose to delete that. But you really have to be careful with how you deal with it, because if you just seem to be deleting things that you're not happy with, and I know some of the big companies like Qantas and just off the top of my head, but there's a lot of bigger companies. Westpac, I think, was one of them. They had something on the bank, and the clients were sort of having a moan about the interest rate hike. And so they were just deleting comments left, right and centre, and people said, well, look, you're not even interested in what we have to say. And it didn't actually work in their favour to delete that. They would have been better to have actually responded.
So the person knows they've been deleted?
Yeah. Well, you go in there and you're not there anymore. So, and other people too, who, if they're following that stream, will see comments are just disappearing. And it's not a good look if you're just dismissing people out of hand. So you do have to be smart about how you deal with any sort of negative feedback at all. So, but like I said, you've got a couple of options. You can, and if you do have somebody that's just being really obnoxious, you can report them, and Facebook will look into it. Some of these, it tends to be for older posts. Usually what happens after a couple of days, it starts showing how many people have interacted with that. So I would have thought from the 17th of February that they would have had some.
Sometimes I see.
Because you do, it comes up here sort of saying, you know, yeah.
It might not be that anybody's commented or.
No, but it just shows how many people. I'll just go down a bit further and
Is
see if I
that
can.
showing you how many people's pages?
Yeah, it just shows like how far the reach has been. So if you've got, 50 fans and their fans have seen some of your content, you might find that 200 people have seen it, or it's at least appeared on 200 pages. They've not necessarily been online at that time to see it. Yeah, I don't know why it's not coming on this at the moment. And then of course too, again, like I said, this is where you can view your insights. And this is where you get that really valuable information as to, how many, the blue line up here that tells you how many pages it has reached. So that's what you're sort of talking about with how far it's gone. This is how many people have been talking about it, whether they've liked it, whether they've left a comment, whether they've shared it. So obviously, there's going to be more people seeing it than actually interacting with it, but it gives you an idea of how you're travelling. If your interaction's down here and you've got, a big gap, you obviously need to do more to get people talking about it. And you can also go through here and actually check, which posts are working the best. So the virality shows how often your post is being shared around the place as well. So this particular post had quite a good engagement level, and I think that was a poll. You can actually click on it and it'll come up and tell you what that post was about, and then if you click on that, it will actually take you to that post. So you can see whether your polls are working really well to engage with people, whether it's photos that are working really well to engage with people. And another tip too is if you're posting just a status update, they always get a lot more feedback if you put a photo with it. So if you can upload a photo with a comment, you'll find it gets a lot more attention and engagement because it's catching people's eyes in the stream rather than just a little comment that hides away. So again, you can sort of go through these and play with the numbers and see how things are working. And then if you look at the, this is where you get more of the demographic information. So as you can see, I'm quite popular with the 25 to 44-year-old women category, so it's probably not a bad place to be today. And yeah, I have a reasonable amount of men engaging with my page, but there's more women. You can see that I've got, quite a few people in Adelaide following me and around the country. I've got one Swedish and one Spanish-speaking fan. And then this tells you too just sort of how many likes that you've got and some more information. So again, you can sort of drill right down into these sorts of things and get some really good information, not just for Facebook advertising, but pretty much any of your marketing. You can use those sorts of statistics to see who is finding you relevant to them. What you need to do is go to your resources page. So again, if we go through to the edit page information, go down to resources, apps, sorry, my mistake. And you need to find the little app that can load into. So what you're looking for is custom tab. So up in the little search bar here, if you type in custom tab, that'll bring up sort of the relevant apps, and then you can load that onto your page. Once you've got there, that gives you somewhere to sit that page, whether it's a welcome page, whether it's a products page or whatever. I had been using this for a while on my page. What you can do is set that app up, and it used to be that you could set it up as a tab. You probably now need to set up a custom page to put it in. And things like my blog, because my blog has an RSS feed available, I was actually linking that up so that then fed onto my Facebook page as well, so people could see what my blogs were while they were still on my Facebook page.
So that's an advantage to be on your website as well?
Yeah, look, if you've got information that you want to feed onto it, if you do have a blog or you've got a news feed that you want to share with your audience, you can put an RSS feed either on your site, on your Twitter, not on your Twitter, on your Facebook, or you can even put one onto your blog if you've got one that you want something else to come through. So again, it's that sort of feeding that information straight through without having to go and grab it all the time.
Thank you.
So you can have a bit of a play. Again, that's a good one to Google how to set up as well.
Oh, that's a good one to get more information from Google.
Yeah, and again, any of these sorts of things, you can Google how to set up RSS on Facebook or how to do whatever, and there's loads and loads of free information out there. Actually, one site I will give you, which I think is really fantastic with great information, is called HubSpot. They have heaps of free PDF ebooks that go through all sorts of great ways to set up different applications and how to write great email letters and all sorts of things. I find them invaluable. Sally's just asked if I can just show the one that I've got set up. Now, because I'm the administrator, I just have to change the setting on it. So for those of you who aren't familiar with a Facebook landing page, you as a non-fan. So if you haven't liked my page yet, when you first visit my Facebook page, you'll come to my welcome page, and I've got a little message saying, hi, thanks for stopping by my page. If you'd like some great information or a bit of a laugh, be sure to like it. I've got down here, you can see what services I have. So I go through, the different things that I offer, and there's a link that then actually goes through to my website, to that relevant page. So if people do want to find out a bit more information, they can. And I've got it set up so that opens in a new window. I'm not sure how that works because it's coming from an application that's photos, but I'm assuming having the links in there would help. I'm not a guru with all the backlinks of it. I know how to make the words work, but I'm not sure how all the technical aspects of it go as far as that goes. But I would imagine if you've got the links in there and it's providing links back to your site, that would have some benefit to it. So once people have come along and liked this page, which I hope they do, I've then got a little thank you message. So I'm like, yay, thanks for staying to like my page. If you're interested, here's some of my recent blogs that you might like to have a look at. So it gives them an idea of... This is all on my Facebook landing page, yeah. And so the little program that we talked about before, ShortStack, this allows you to build these. And like I said, you can put your live RSS feeds. Every time I update a blog, this actually updates. So anybody that's coming in as a new fan gets the latest. I don't have to go and change that. It's a great little tool. So again, they can have a look at what I'm writing, see if they think the information I'm offering is relevant, and hopefully then share that with their friends. Yay! But again, there's a lot of sites that don't take advantage of having the website or their welcome page set up. You sort of just go straight to their wall, and it's a great opportunity to sort of get your message out there. Well, I'd recommend you have a look at ShortStack. Yeah, I know when you set up your calendar that you can set it up for those people to like that. Unfortunately, the last experience I had with events, it didn't really work the way that I was hoping it would. And I haven't had a great deal of experience with the events pages, but again, I don't profess to be the know-all of everything. So, again, I'd suggest, hop on Google and have a look at that sort of thing, because you can probably find that information there. Yeah, I know, but I don't really know enough about that to give you the answer that you're probably looking for. So again, that's where I'd recommend that you even have a look at that on Google and just sort of find out more about it. It's not one that I've really used a lot because I don't really have events that I'm promoting through my site. So again, there's so many different tools depending on how you use them. It can boggle your little brain.